What's going on, YouTube? So I'm back again with another video, and today I'm actually gonna go ahead and unbox some parts for the EK. So the two parts that I ended up purchasing for the EK are right here. So this is gonna be the subframe brace right here, and then this one right here are the control arms. So the reason why I purchased these is because one, I did want to upgrade the bushings on the EK just because the car is like 25 years old. So I know they're all worn out and shot. So I wanted to upgrade the bushings, and when I was looking through eBay, I found these. So these actually came together. So for $100, I ended up getting the subframe brace and the control arms. But before I get ahead of myself, I want to show you guys how they look like. So in the mail, you get just a big brown box, and then you get these two boxes inside. So let's go ahead and open this one up right now real quick. So right when you open it, you see the control arms here. Beautiful. These are billet aluminum, in case you guys are wondering. So let me put this aside. I want to show you guys the subframe brace real quick before I take everything out completely. I might need two hands for this one actually. So this is the subframe brace. Right when you open it, you get the subframe brace, and you also get a little box which is just the hardware. You get two spacers and a bunch of bolts and nuts. So before I start talking again, I'm just gonna take these control arms off and the subframe off the wrapping and place it on the floor so you guys get a good look of the quality and the material of these parts. All right guys, so parts are out the box, and as you can see right away, like the quality of these parts are like amazing. And I'm actually very surprised because the amount of money I pay for these, I'm just shocked of how good the quality is. So as you can tell, like this is solid aluminum. This is billet aluminum, as stated in the description. And the bushings actually look like the Skunk 2 bushings. So I've had a lot of control arms and subframe braces. I've ran Godspeed, I ran True Heart, I ran Skunk 2, and what's the other one? There's another brand. Oh, Blocks Racing. So I ran all their control arms, and these look very similar to those. So they're obviously made out of the same material, because Skunk 2 and True Heart, they say, or they advertise that their control arms are made out of billet aluminum, and this is literally exactly what it's made out of, and it literally feels exactly the same. It's crazy. Now, True Heart uses different bushings for their control arms, but Skunk 2, they use the exact same bushings as you see here. And honestly, like, I'm actually really shocked at how similar these are to the Skunk 2, besides the design. But as far as the bushing, is all the same. And for the subframe brace, I didn't want to go with anything crazy just because, I mean, it's just a piece of metal. And billet aluminum is literally what all the subframe braces are made out of nowadays. So I thought this was like a perfect setup for me. Just because it's going to be under the car. Not a lot of people are going to see it. And also the car is stance. So it's a stance build. So I didn't want to go nothing too crazy like I have on the Integra right here. The Integra does have True Heart arms with a Progress subframe brace and a sway bar. So I'm not gonna run a sway bar just because I don't need it. I mainly need it for this car, but for the EK I don't need it. So this is like a perfect setup for myself and maybe for anyone who's on a budget. So I'm gonna just say this again. I paid $100 total for both these bars. That's the subframe brace and the control arm. They did come in a bundle, and then you also get hardware for the subframe brace. So you get two spacers, and the rest are just bolts and nuts. But you get that for the subframe brace, and then the control arms, you just reuse your stock bolts. But honestly, if you're on a budget, I highly recommend you guys purchasing this. Just look up Honda Civic or Acura Integra control arms, and these should pop up. They should be under the description of like Function 7, which I believe this is what they copied them from, but it's literally all the same. So that's enough for me talking, because I know I'd be getting annoying. So it is Friday night. I'm gonna put these on tomorrow morning just because it's really late at night and I just got off work. So I'm gonna go ahead and put these on tomorrow morning. So I'll catch you guys tomorrow. All right guys, so this is the next morning and I'm gonna show you guys what we're working with. All right, so I have the parts here. I already have the car jacked up, so let me just show you guys what we will be doing today. So I have the control arm here, and then the subframe brace, you don't have to do anything because then that just goes on once the control arm bolt is off from here. But other than that, it's pretty simple. It's just 1, 2, and 3 bolts for this one. Same thing on the other side. And then before we put on the control arm, I think I have to put the subframe brace on first, or at least bolt it with these 2 holes. And yeah, that's pretty much it. But since I'm already down here, I'm just checking to make sure that everything's tight, nothing's loose on my suspension, my camber arm too. And I actually noticed that my trailing arm bushing is shot, so I'm gonna have to replace that soon. So I might just go with True Heart because I know they sell bushings for trailing arms for the EK, so I'm gonna go with that. But as of right now, let's tackle this real quick. All right guys, so I got the first arm out, but before I show you that, I'm gonna show you down here real quick. So it was pretty much easy. It's pretty easy. It's just 1, 2, and 3 bolts, and then this one has a nut in the back, obviously. But I kept the jack here just in case, so my alignment doesn't fuck up like crazy. I'm pretty sure this doesn't help, but I'm assuming it does. So I just have this. That's why I'm only working on one side for now, and then I'm gonna do the exact same way that I did it here with the jack on the other side, just so my alignment or my toe doesn't fuck up as much. All right guys, so I'm finally done. I have both control arms on and the subframe brace. The install was fairly easy. The only issue I did have was putting aligning both of these bolts, so this one and the one on the other side. I just recommend just putting the jack here, jack it up, and you should be fine, and the bolt should slide right through. So I did mention I did have the jack here just so it doesn't mess up my toe. Regardless, I did have to remove the jack and then just jack up the other side. So honestly, you don't need the jack on this side. I was just doing it just because just for peace of mind, so my toe isn't that bad before I go get an alignment, because I don't think I'm gonna get an alignment anytime soon just because I just got it. But other than that, honestly, the install was fairly easy, and I'm actually really happy how this looks. Another helpful tip, when you're tightening these bolts, this one, and that one, just make sure you're putting load onto the control arm. So what I did, I jacked it up. I put the jack here, I lifted it up, and then I tightened the bolts. So before I put on the wheels and lower the car, I'm just gonna wipe it down real quick with some detailer, and it should be fine. All right guys, so I'm finally done. I took the car out for a spin just to make sure I don't hear any squeaking or any weird noises. But before I did that, I was able to clean the subframe brace and the control arms. So as you can see, everything's all clean and shiny. But as far as ride quality, I don't feel any difference, but I do feel like it is stiffer. But I mean, I have no complaints. Everything feels good. It feels like normal. Everything feels like it should feel, if that makes sense. So I think that's pretty much it for this video, guys. After taking it out for a spin, I didn't hear no squeaking, no weird noises. Everything works as it should. I have no complaints either. Everything fit perfectly. I have no issues, and that's pretty much it, guys.